Good morning, my listeners. My name is Wiktor Doctor, and here is the 24th episode of Good Morning BSS World podcast, where I share with you various stories, comments, and thoughts concerning outsourcing, shared services, and modern business services industry. The episodes are released on Sundays, and sometimes they are focused on interesting reports or events, but sometimes I share with you some of my thoughts about what can or cannot be done within the BSS world. And today is such episode of this show. I believe we are already a little bit tired of talking or listening about the fact that BSS industry grows all around the world. It is more than obvious that nearly everywhere in the world we can find out that there are either more operation centers which are opened or more employees who are hired. Of course, as we say in Poland, the devil is in the details, and it all depends on the selection of relevant data. Sometimes we will show the number of specific operation centers, sometimes the number of employees, but sometimes we will show investments coming from a specific country or those ones of specific specialization, like for example, software development or R&D. Paper or Word document on the desktop will accept everything, and we can always present data in one way or the other that everything looks beautiful. Was it a controversial beginning? It was supposed to be this way. Let's look on how the BPO and GBC sectors are actually developing, and they develop as a result of actions and actually by continuous analysis of several factors, which are operating costs, availability of human resources, access to required knowledge and skills, time of implementation, or process optimization. This is of course not a complete list, and it can be expanded in any way, but it is worth to highlight one element. Costs are on the top of this list. And whatever we say, they will always be an important part of the game when deciding where to locate an operation center. And there are maybe even four variants. The first one is the lack of a decision to outsource or build your own shared service center and maintain all operational activities at home. The second is a nearshoring model and moving work outside of the company or creating a shared services center close to the parent company, for example in the same country or in the neighboring countries. The third one is offshore direction to distant locations, usually on the other continents. And finally, the fourth scenario is what? Is reshoring. In other words, something did not work in near or offshoring, and we are returning the work to the parent company. Is the list closing here? Well, not necessarily. The pandemic in 2020 showed that the possibility of a complete shift of work to the remote model should be taken into account. Of course, most businesses are focused on a temporary solution. However, history teaches that temporary solutions can be eternal, like it was with white beet or sugar beet, depending on how this vegetable is named. It was supposed to replace sugar cane temporarily, and it remained permanently. Why not to build a new scenario, which are virtual operating centers? A lot of books have already been written about managing virtual teams. It is also widely known that crowdsourcing models and an army of freelancers operate in the world. But is the scenario of building a 100% virtual GBC center possible at all? Let's let your imagination run. Yes. In my opinion, such a model is possible, but we'll need to face at least two quite important challenges. The first is technological, and the second, management one. The technology challenge is nothing more than taking care of data and cybersecurity. This can be solved by defragmentating data, hiding sensitive fields, working on codes, and so on, but nevertheless, it is a challenge, and if we build a virtual GBC center with employees located around the world, undoubtedly, care for data security would be one of the highest priorities here. The management challenge is a completely different matter. It is here that the construction of a team of employees would start with the virtual recruitment of people, not from one city or country, but from around the world. Accounting, IT, or customer service teams could be created worldwide, from Skarsvåg in the north of Norway to Siderstrand in South Africa, and from Guadalajara in Mexico to Auckland in New Zealand, and any latitude or longitude. Since people are available everywhere, the challenge remains how to manage them, how to coordinate work, how to ensure a rational division of tasks and the quality of performed duties, and this is paradoxically not as easy as it may sound. Already now, the pandemic has shown that some managers who work great in the office in a relationship with their teams in a remote work model have a quite big challenge. It looks like remote management is not the same as managing people in the office. Will operational centers decide on the model of virtual operational centers? I think this is not a quick scenario yet, and this is mainly due to the enormity of technological and management works that need to be done. Those ones which I mentioned above, for example. But is it worth working on such a model? Well, I think it is. Oh, and what does this mean for offices? Since there will be no operational centers in the model as we know it, does this mean that offices will not be needed any longer? Well, not necessarily. This is an amazing opportunity to develop the space of serviced offices and co-workers. But this is a topic for another story. That's it for today. If you are liking what you are hearing, subscribe to my show and listen to other episodes. If you are Polish or understand Polish, I also invite you to my other show, which is named BSS Bez Tajemnic and is released every day. Some of the episodes of it are available on my YouTube channel in video version. Keep well and let's meet soon again. My name is Wiktor Doctor and it was Good Morning BSS World podcast. Goodbye.